Did Iran spook a key U.S. Gulf ally into inching closer to its camp and against Trump on the Strait of Hormuz? Iran held expert-level consultations on shipping safety with U.S. close Arab partner just a day after drones hit the UAE. Is that simple coordination or a sharp geopolitical message to Washington? After strikes on Barakah nuclear power plant, is Oman working with Iran on Hormuz traffic out of shared security concerns, or because it no longer trusts U.S. protection alone? Iran said on May 17 that it is holding talks with Oman about the Strait of Hormuz, focusing on issues related to maritime traffic and security. Officials from Iran and Oman held expert-level consultations in Muscat last week on shipping safety in the strategic waterway. Iran's foreign ministry stated that the two sides are working on a new mechanism to facilitate commercial ship traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. The ministry added that both Iran and Oman have a shared responsibility to ensure the safe passage of vessels transiting the strait. Iran also insisted that it holds no hostility toward regional countries, explicitly mentioning the United Arab Emirates. At the same time, Tehran warned its Gulf neighbors about what it called plots by external powers operating in the region. Iranian officials urged regional states to remain vigilant and stay alert against foreign interference in their affairs. Iran further said it is closely monitoring its neighbors' contacts and visits with Israel, signaling concern over any deepening ties. These comments came after massive explosions were reported in the UAE capital, Abu Dhabi, on May 17, heightening tensions around the Gulf. Al Jazeera reported that a drone attack near the Barakah nuclear power plant ignited a fire in its vicinity, raising immediate security concerns. The drones reportedly targeted the electrical generator at the Barakah nuclear power plant in the Al Dhafar region of Abu Dhabi. Despite the incident, reports stated that the plant continues to operate normally and that radiological safety levels have not been affected. The episode came just hours after a close aide to Mojtaba issued a chilling warning directed at Gulf states on May 16, linking the blast to a rapidly escalating regional climate. Mokber said, quote, "Iran looked upon them for years as friends and brothers, but they, by pre-selling their sovereignty, even placed their soil and homes at the disposal of the enemies of Palestine and Iran." The Islamic Republic's response to the CENTCOM's rented outposts in the recent all-out war was not full-scale, but certainly, this restraint is not perpetual. Unquote. According to this report, shortly after U.S.-Israeli strikes began, Abu Dhabi pressed its neighbors to join a broader regional response, trying to turn limited retaliation into a Gulf-wide front against Tehran. Mohammed bin Zayed personally urged Saudi Arabia and Qatar to participate in a joint answer to Iranian attacks, arguing that only a united wall of states could deter further strikes. MBZ is reported to have believed that if the Gulf stood together, politically and militarily, Iran would think twice before firing on oil terminals, towers and airports again. Instead, key partners including Saudi Arabia and several other Gulf states refused to sign up to a retaliatory campaign, judging that escalation carried more risks than benefits. Some leaders are even said to have told MBZ bluntly that this was not their conflict, signaling they were unwilling to be dragged deeper into a fight they saw as primarily US-Iranian. All of this unfolded as Tehran fired nearly 3,000 drones and missiles at targets inside the UAE before the April 8 ceasefire, turning Dubai and Abu Dhabi into frontline cities overnight. Iran's barrages also struck ports, airports, towers and hotels across the wider region, underscoring why some Gulf rulers feared any additional strikes might only invite more destruction at home. Riyadh reportedly branded the UAE's push for joint strikes escalatory, choosing instead a deterrence-only posture, bolstering defenses and diplomacy while avoiding direct offensive action. That strategic split deepened already strained ties between Abu Dhabi and Riyadh, turning quiet economic competition into visible geopolitical friction in the middle of a war. In Qatar, officials briefly weighed direct retaliation after Iran hit the Ras Laffan LNG complex, but ultimately stepped back from the brink. Doha concluded its role should be de-escalation and mediation, not opening a new military front, especially with LNG exports and foreign bases sitting in Iran's line of sight. Bahrain and Kuwait broadly followed Saudi Arabia's caution, keeping to defensive postures and steering clear of any offensive operations that could widen the conflict. Oman, long a quiet backchannel to Tehran, was never expected to join strikes at all, instead continuing to play the role of discreet go-between as the fighting raged. Against this backdrop, Abu Dhabi shocked energy markets by pulling out of the Saudi-led OPEC cartel in late April, signaling just how far its rift with Riyadh had widened. Reports now suggest the UAE is even reviewing its participation in regional bodies like the GCC, raising the question of whether Trump's most enthusiastic Gulf partner is preparing to chart a far more independent course. In a historic development, Israel has revealed that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu conducted a previously undisclosed visit to the United Arab Emirates amid the ongoing Iran conflict, marking a significant diplomatic moment during heightened regional tensions. The Prime Minister's Office of Israel confirmed that Benjamin Netanyahu made this covert visit during the course of Operation Roaring Lion, while military and strategic operations were still actively unfolding. During the trip, Netanyahu reportedly held a discreet and closely guarded meeting with UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed, reflecting the sensitivity and high-level nature of the engagement. According to reports, this encounter marks the first officially acknowledged face-to-face meeting between the two leaders, highlighting a rare moment of direct diplomacy at the highest level. The Prime Minister's office stated that the discussions led to what it described as a historic breakthrough in relations between Israel and the UAE, signaling a potential shift in regional cooperation. A source familiar with the meeting indicated that the talks took place in the city of Al Ain, near the Oman border, on March 26, adding further detail to the previously undisclosed diplomatic timeline. The meeting reportedly lasted several hours and was conducted entirely in secrecy, with no public disclosure or media coverage until the details emerged much later.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.